The time started from June till August in Ethiopia marks the primary planting season that depend heavily on seasonal rain for their harvests. Over the past decades, agricultural production has shown a steady increase in Tigray, with farmers having improved access to agricultural inputs, such as fertilizers, seeds and pesticides. But the almost year-long siege on Tigray, in addition to blocking essentials such as food aid, medical supplies and commercial goods, has also seen agricultural inputs obstructed from reaching Tigrayan farmers. These farmers from the district of Enderta, near Tigray's capital, say they had delayed planting with hopes that some fertilizers would be able to reach them.
We planted late. We had hoped to get fertilizers or seeds before we started to plant. But now we have run out of options, so we have just started to plant without fertilizers. The fertilizers used to help us increase our harvest. This year we have left it all to God, and we don't have fertilizers or anything else. We have already planted, but that doesn't mean much if you don't have fertilizers.
But the ongoing siege on Tigray is not the only reason that farmers in Tigray are yet to receive much needed assistance. United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization FAO announced in late June that it was suffering from a budgetary shortfall of $85 million to support the needs of farmers in Tigray, to whom the Ethiopian government had provided a limited window of opportunity to deliver farming inputs, and warned that a failure to meet the needs of farmers in Tigray during this planting season would imply an even more catastrophic humanitarian situation that would even costlier to address. ጌታቸው ገብረ እግዚአብሔር, agricultural expert for the district's office for agricultural and rural development, says it is expected that production will fall by as much as 70% due to the farmers' lack of access to essential inputs.
We have 30,570 hectares of farmland in this district, and we will need about 50,000 quintals of fertilizers to cover that amount of land, 3,000 quintals of seed grain, and 6,000 liters of varying types of pesticides. So we have no fertilizers and expect some 30 to 35% of the production to be consumed by insects, because farmers do not have pesticides to warm them off. Considering these varying factors, we expect production to fall by some 70%.
But this isn't the first time Tigrayan farmers have been hindered from farming. The deliberate and systematic attempts to obstruct farmers from planting was a well-documented phenomenon during the 8 months occupation of a greater portion of Tigray by the Ethiopian forces and their allies from Eritrea. International media and human rights groups have documented a systematic campaign by those forces to prevent farmers from plowing their land, including the destruction of farming equipment and seeds.
Tigray has been a hotspot for humanitarian and human rights concerns.
A deliberate campaign, including by people tasked with law enforcement, was preventing Tigrayans from farming.
We have been denied access to fertilizers so that the people of Tigray would starve, suffer, and die. We are at risk. We are hungry. We have nothing with which to fill our belly, and it will not be any better next year.